little bit of Jason Helms band for you folks. First Class White Trash. That's just a great title to a song. First Class White Trash. You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star. It is 8:17, and like I said, we're going to have a special guest, and I knew I mispronounced his name. Brett Grabner is in the studio. Did I say it right that time?
Absolutely
beautiful,
nailed it.
beautiful. Yeah. He is the COO of Leisure Getaways Inc. And if you're by a computer right now, and because I know most of you are, check out LGIAdvantageclub.com. LGIAdvantageclub.com. This is the perfect time to have a guest just like this guy, Brett, in the studio because it's all about summer and vacationing, and everybody's looking for options. And I know if you've been listening to the Switch Hour on the Fridays, we've been talking about summer getaways and summer fun and summer jobs, summer love, anything that has to do with summer we've been talking about. So I'm really happy to have Brett Grabner in the studio of Leisure Getaways Inc. because he is in charge of your vacation, right? Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. All things vacationing, we would love to be involved.
And so what's funny to me, and it's always you always go back to what you were as a kid, like what your family did. Because personally, my vacation time, I think it's where I just don't have to do anything for an hour. I think that's like my perfect vacation. But I've always, what happens to my mind though is after an hour, I got to move on. Like I'm like I can't. So I don't know how I would handle going to, like, when your thing right now is the retreat at Foxborough. I don't know how I'd be able to handle it because you said there's no, like, people are on their cell phones. People aren't doing, like, they're just enjoying themselves. And I'm like, wait, I can't do that. I mentally can't.
It's very funny because now it does seem that we all tend to struggle in this day and age with smartphones and connectivity, and everywhere we go, we struggle with the first word in our name, which is leisure. Sometimes when we have the time to actually recharge our batteries, we don't know what to do. We literally think it means recharge the batteries, plug into something and get that phone fired back up. Whereas really what it's all about for us is getting your mind right, which is, nowadays we tend to work hard. Well, we should take play just as serious, and that's really what we focus on.
I mean, you can definitely tell when a person has gone on a great vacation because there is a certain glow about them. It's like it's a different attitude. Actually, their point of view has changed. You're like, who is this person? It's like, I just got back from this wonderful vacation, and that's to me that's the recharge you're looking for. So
absolutely, it's amazing how many times people come back from vacation and somebody say, "Did you lose weight? Is there something different?" And it's that glow you speak of. It's there is something to be said for just for a week not caring what's going on in the rest of the world.
And Leisure Getaways is, what's the best way to describe it? A travel agency, or is it like they kind of just help you connect you to things? Because I know the retreat at Foxborough is kind of a new thing.
Right. It's I would say Leisure Getaways is a full-service vacation company, and it's as all-encompassing as it sounds. Anything from a person who needs a travel concierge, somebody who just says, listen, I have a week, and what should I do? You can take into account all their likes, dislikes, maybe the demographics of the family, the extended group that's going to go with, and we can put together a vacation that way. To conventional timeshare or vacation ownership, to folks who maybe don't wish to do it every year. Maybe it's every couple of years. So it really is all things vacation and finding something, tailoring something that will work for them as opposed to being stuck with something.
Well, it's funny is the audience, I want them to know is it's take advantage of people like Brett, because when people plan vacations, I've always heard stories, and we've been in scenarios where you're going somewhere where you've never been, and you have no idea who's there, what's going to happen. And if you knew somebody or you had a contact that could help you navigate through whatever problems you're having, it's more of a comfort. And the people like like your company, that's what you guys help out for, right? I mean, I could call you if I needed help, or because some people just don't know what to do, and they're like, oh, what should I do with a week?
Absolutely, and for us, it's just in our employee base, we have 300 people who are pretty much somebody's always on vacation and taking advantage of the business that we're in and going to some really unique places.
Wait a second. So your employees go on vacation?
It's mandatory.
Oh, okay.
We find that the people who are the most educated on vacation are people who enjoy them themselves. So going out and experiencing places, maybe sometimes off the beaten path, and sometimes you'd be surprised at, just kind of going back and revisiting a place maybe you went to as a youngster. For me, it was taking my boys last year to Disney World, and I hadn't been since I was a child. And I guess when I looked back on it when I was in I don't know, my 20s and stuff, I was like, well, that was fun when I was a kid. I had a blast. I had a blast from the standpoint of there's so many things there for adults now, but also through re-experiencing it, the excitement through my kids' eyes. So it was something for me that I didn't expect to have as much fun as I had. Those are the vacations that you tend to really kind of harken back to when you're having a tough day, or you're thinking to yourself, boy, I'd really like to not be at work today. And you remind yourself the reason I work is because I get to vacation. That's my payoff at the end of this. And making sure that the payoff is worth the work is what we do.
And it's funny you mentioned Disney World. Whenever I went there, I felt that place was really creepy, just because of the mass scale of how much fun everyone's having. I was like, who's in charge here? Because this is way too much. Like there's a lot going on over there. But you're listening to Mornings with Lone Star. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm hanging out with Brett Grabner.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm going to get it. I'm telling you. I'm going to get it with LGI Advantage Club. That's LGIAdvantageClub.com. Check it out while we take this quick break. Here's some Deanna Woodland. I like this song. This song's called 21 Guns. You're listening to Lone Star in the mornings. It's 8:23, and we will be right back.
Hello, I'm Mark Hader.
And this is Cindy Cochran inviting you to join us on the Cindy and Mark Show each weekday morning from 10 to 11 here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Super, Cindy, but I believe it's the Mark and Cindy Show.
Huh? Yes, it is, Mark. And it's broadcast live on Lone Star Internet Radio here in beautiful downtown Conroe. Oh, the exciting things we'll talk about, the interesting guests you'll get to meet, the wonderful gifts we'll give away, and the tons of...
Wait. Gifts? There are no gifts. I'm not giving away anything. Why do you get to decide on what we do? It's Mark and Cindy, remember?
Oh, yeah? Well, so ladies and gentlemen, tune in and we'll all find out who gets to decide stuff. Weekday mornings at 10 here on Lone Star Internet Radio. How was that?
It could have been worse. You could have sung your part.
Oh, yeah, wait. It's the Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show.
Let's go to Lukenbach, Texas.
Tired of Waylon, Willie, and the boys? Join me, Gordon Lockhart, for Beethoven, Bach, and the Boys. Every Saturday from 8 to midnight on Lone Star Classical Music After Dark. Symphonies, concertos, and sonatas by composers such as Mozart, Tchaikovsky, and Bernstein. That's Lone Star Classical Music After Dark. Every Saturday from 8 to midnight on irlonestar.com.
There's our local friend, Blake Anderson. I wasn't no angel. You're listening to Lone Star in the mornings. It's 8:31. I hope everyone is staying dry today because I think you got a couple hours until the rain comes back later tonight. It has been monsooning here in Montgomery County. But don't forget, right now we're talking about vacationing, so you can get away from the rain and go somewhere really nice. I'm talking with Brett Grabner, with the COO of Leisure Getaways, Inc. That's LGIAdvantageClub.com. Make sure to check it out while we're talking. And I want to jump into what you guys are offering right now because I'm kind of interested. It's called the Retreat at Foxborough.
Correct.
And that name, do you know where that name came from at all?
Well, the name of the resort that it's affiliated with is the Foxborough Resort there in Branson, Missouri. And the Retreat at Foxborough is a new product to the market for those who have experience in vacation ownership. It's a trust-based membership, which means quite simply you get to have all the fun, you get to enjoy the advantages of vacation ownership, but you don't have the obligation. And the obligation is if anybody has owned timeshare, conventional timeshare, when you're done with it or when your family is done with it, getting it out of your name can be cumbersome, can be very taxing on your personal finances, can cost thousands of dollars, or you have to hope somebody else wants it and to take on the maintenance fees. Here it's simply, I'm done with it, wash my hands of it, I'm done, and you're out. You're out. So there's no trying to find an exit strategy. It's just simply, okay, do the math. Is it something that's worth it? Are you still enjoying vacations? Are you still enjoying the savings, enjoying all the benefits that you got involved with? And when you're done, it's simple, okay, if the equation isn't working out in my favor, I don't want it anymore. And it's that simple. It's just that decision-making process. What's wonderful about it, so many times people get involved at a resort. When a resort starts out, they spend the money. They do the wonderful amenities. They do the things to keep the ownership happy. And then when it's sold out, the commitment to happiness, I like to say, diminishes, because what's in it for the developer? What's in it after they sell out? Well, here, because people have the ability to say, you know what, the maintenance fees have gotten too high, or the amenities, my enjoyment level has gotten lower, I'm going to walk away. Well, that keeps the onus on us in making it constantly a place to have fun, a place to enjoy, because we realize the second that we're not the place to be, we're going to lose our ownership base. And that's it's wonderful to have the pressure on the right side of the table. We do the work so you can have the fun. And that's the way it should be.
And that's the retreat at Foxborough. And I'm reading about what you guys have. It's kind of like the Foxborough place is surrounded by fun.
Yes.
So you walk out the door and you have live entertainment, you have golf, you have basically the standard getaway stuff, I would say, right?
Right. And with a special emphasis there. Now, keep in mind, this is just one of the resorts that you can go to. But the retreat at Foxborough, what is unique about it is, on any given night, you have a choice of over 100 live music acts.
This is in Branson, Missouri.
This is in Branson, Missouri.
Just to let people know.
Yeah, you have live music, you have shows, you have water parks, you have zip lines, you have golf, like you said. It is for a week. You go back in time, and although the cell service there is great, you won't know it because you don't. It's not a place you pick up your phone. It's not a place you really care what's going on in the rest of the world. And it is, I like to say, it's like going back in time. It's going back 20, 25 years. It has a conventional, what I think of when I think of Main Street when I was a kid. I mean, I remember the conversations every time I go back there. And I have the great privilege of going back many times. I remember conversations I had with my grandparents, with my parents. I remember the silly questions I asked as a kid. They have a 5 and dime store, if you remember what those are. It is a nice little opportunity to go back in time.
And that's the retreat at Foxborough. Now, I kind of want to get into the idea of vacationing, because I always like talking to people about what they do for vacationing. So for the retreat at Foxborough, that's really fit for a family, you would say? A family of 4, a family of 10, or is it more of, because like when we would have our family gatherings, there would be about 35 of us. So 35 to 50, depending on how many people are available that summer. But yeah, so tell me, the Foxborough, what is that ideal for?
Ideally, you have 1 and 2 bedroom suites. Okay, so you have anything from a couple who just want to go enjoy themselves for maybe a weekend or maybe even just a night. There's an act in town that they really want to see. To a family, I'm going to think, last summer, I think the largest group we had was 300 people. And then we had a meeting in a little convention area that they take advantage of. And so we do have the ability to accommodate a wide range, but I would say the wheelhouse, if you will, is a family of between 2 and 6 people, and just to go and relax.
Okay, so yeah, because that's always a question I always wonder is like when people go on vacation, why are you going there? And it's like, oh, because it could only fit so many people. So that makes a lot more sense, and especially if you do go with the group, you have options. And that's really what it sounds like Foxborough offers. Everyone doesn't have to be together the entire time. Everyone can have like, hey, let's have a night out to get just you and me, or let the kids stay in their room or something. Something like that.
It's funny you say that. I my family was not affluent growing up, and I remember we would save all year as a family. And I remember the little jar we'd put our coins in, and that was our fun money for us kids when we would go out and take a vacation. And we would save all year. We would plan this wonderful vacation, whether it was Yellowstone or whatever it might have been, all get in the at the time, the station wagon. This is pre-SUV era. And we'd go on this wonderful vacation. All year long, we had our own rooms. Or my brother and I would share a room. My parents definitely had their own room. My sister had her own room. On vacation, on that budget, we would all stay in one Days Inn. And occasionally somebody had to stay behind in the station wagon because they were counting people that went in. But we had to make sure our vacation dollars stretched. So you'd all year, you would have your own space, and then you'd go on vacation and you'd wonder why it wasn't as relaxing. Well, it's because there's 5 or 6 people in a very cramped area, and maybe the room had a Bible and an old black and white TV. To go and to have your own space and to have the room to relax is really, it's a point of emphasis. You won't find in our system a conventional hotel room. You're going to always have room. So you have your space to have your own time to yourself.
Yeah, like it's one thing, like I said, with the company like yours, like Leisure Getaways Inc., they kind of look over the 360 of your entire situation. It's not just like, oh, hey, here, we booked you a room. It's reserved under this name. There you go. It's more they think you guys think about every little thing, and especially y'all. Would you consider a complaint department? That's what it is.
Absolutely. I think what you learn just as much about your clients through the feedback of maybe past vacations they've taken before they got involved with us. You listen to what went wrong versus the expectation, because there is nothing worse than being disappointed on vacation. Because it's supposed to be the payoff for working hard. It's supposed to be the payoff for doing things the right way. That it's the one chance you have to let your hair down. And so when it goes awry, or somebody is not paying attention to the details, it is definitely disheartening.
You're listening to Lone Star in the mornings. Brett, I want to thank you so much for coming in and talking about LGIAdvantageclub.com, which is the retreat at Foxborough. That's where you need to check it out. It's LGIAdvantageclub.com. Now, Brett, if there's anything you want to tell the audience before you leave, you got to let me know. What is it?
I would just say be careful right now. We get reports here in Montgomery County, being local. We do get reports of people being solicited on the phone, and these people seem to know a lot about your vacation ownership. They know where the resort is, and they've suddenly magically found a buyer for your property, and they just got a big, rich payday at the end of it. All it requires is you to put some money up front. Absolutely, that story is too good to be true. It's the quickest way to separate you from your money. It never has a happy ending. We receive complaints on this 5 to 6 times a week of one of our customers being approached by somebody else that promised them riches, and all that happened is they wrote a check and they never saw the money again. So please be careful and absolutely report that to your local authorities.
So you just call the police?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
You absolutely can. And hopefully you made that charge via credit card, dispute the charge. You definitely don't want to write a check, because that check, as we know, becomes a bearer instrument, and there's no way to recover it unless they can find that person on whatever Caribbean island they might be hiding out in.
And now, if the audience wants to reach out to you, because you guys are local, you guys are located over there at Rayford in the Woodlands area, so what's the best way to get in touch with you guys?
Well, we have an 800 number, 800-896-9308. We also have the LGI Advantage Club that you spoke of earlier. There's contact us there. And personally, if it's something that I can do to help out, anything vacation related, don't feel free to contact me. Don't hesitate, and you can reach me directly at 281-378-3364.
There you go. This is Brett Grabner of Leisure Getaways Inc. That's LGIAdvantageclub.com. If you're looking for a great way to get away this summer, visit LGIAdvantageclub.com. The retreat at Foxborough sounds like a lot of fun, especially if you have a family, because everyone doesn't really know where to begin, and this is a great place to begin your ideas about where to travel. You're listening to Lone Star in the mornings. It's 8:41. The Mark and Cindy show's coming up. They're big ideas. They want to know your big ideas. So make sure to tune in at 10 o'clock to the Mark and Cindy Show. Here's some Travis Tritt for you folks with Trouble. You're listening to Lone Star in the mornings.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.